welcome along to this week's episode of Behind the Boxes. We've got a massive show coming up for you. We're going to review the Group 3 Goulburn Cup that was run last Sunday. We're also going to review the Group 2 Lismore Cup that took place on Tuesday evening. Big night there at Ladbrokes Park, Lismore. We're going to talk about the Phoenix now. Greyhound Racing New South Wales has announced its outline for its concept for a greyhound to earn a slot to go and race in the Phoenix, where they will race for $750,000. Stacks more coming your way. As always, Timmy, the battler, Newbold, joins us on Behind the Boxes. How's the week been, buddy?
Yeah, g'day, Duke. G'day, everyone. We had a pretty good week. I love all of this feature racing. As you just alluded to, the Goulburn Cup on Sunday. We had the Lismore Cup on Tuesday night. I know you were on track, enjoyed all of that coverage through the social media platforms. Yeah, and as you just mentioned, the Phoenix as well. We've got the Top Gun, 4 greyhounds from New South Wales earning invitations into the Top Gun. So, gee, Duke, when you look back, I don't think I can't recall the last time New South Wales had such a big representation in both the Top Gun Sprint and the Top Gun Stayers. So, New South Wales right at the moment, I'll tell you what, we're on top of the world. We're flying with the number of elite greyhounds in this state at the moment, and they're heading interstate in the next, 6 or 8 weeks to try and bring back those Melbourne riches.
Yeah, we're going to discuss all that plus a lot more. First up, Battler. Greyhound Racing New South Wales this morning has announced its concept for a greyhound to earn a slot in the Phoenix. So what it is that 5 greyhounds have been given a nomination. They are Zipping Kyrgios, who took out the Group 2 Blacktop, Bandit Ned, the Group 1 Vic Peters. We have got Cashview winning the Lismore Cup, Light and Lily with the Peter Mossman, and Wow taking out the Goulburn Cup. So they're 5. We're going to get another 5 that will be selected by a panel here at Greyhound Racing New South Wales. We're going to give those 10 dogs to the Daily Telegraph, who will then do a major campaign. I'm talking a huge campaign exposing greyhound racing for all its great things. A public vote will determine which greyhound earns the slot from Greyhound Racing New South Wales. They'll then race in the Phoenix, but even better, Battler, one of the readers from the Daily Telegraph will be given that dog as such in the basis that if that dog wins the Phoenix, they will earn $50,000. I think it's great. It's so left of centre. What do you want to do? Just run a heat series final? Oh, sorry, other places are doing that. How about we do something different and get different eyeballs on the industry?
I love that idea, Duke. I work for Greyhound Racing New South Wales. People out there will say, of course you do, Newbold. That goes with the territory. The Phoenix was designed to attract a different audience, something out of left field. And this is what we are trying to do at Greyhound Racing New South Wales, linking with the Daily Telegraph, one of the most read papers in the country. It'll be, a week-long campaign, basically from when voting opens and when greyhounds, all 10 greyhounds are announced. And you can't tell me people who aren't right into greyhound racing, or even racing, with an opportunity to win $50,000, Duke, people are going to get involved. I'm not sure what some of the other competitions, with the rugby league or whatnot, and how much prize money is up for grabs with all of those, fantasy leagues and everything like that. But 50 grand, it's remarkable money for someone out there to try and get on board. And you can imagine if they happen to, their selection is the eventual slot holder for Greyhound Racing New South Wales, do you think they're not going to be telling everyone they know, oh, listen, I've got an opportunity to win 50 in this greyhound race down at the Meadows on December 18? I think it's a great idea. You're going to get so many different eyeballs on the sport. It's about promoting the sport. And this was what this race was designed for. As you just said, it could run heats, finals. But to me, this is something different, and you're going to a newer audience. And that is what the race is about. Look at what they've done with the Everest, Duke. When they were talking, I think a couple of weeks ago, the crowd, the majority are all under 30. And that's what the Everest was designed for, to get a different demographic, not like the Melbourne Cups and, the Doncasters. They were going for a new audience. They've attracted that. And I think in time, the Phoenix, if, other slot holders look to promote the way I think we are at Greyhound Racing New South Wales, you are going to get that new audience.
Yeah, and look, our wagering data tells us that 18 to 30-year-old predominantly, they're the ones that are really driving this upsurge in turnover as far as greyhound racing in New South Wales is concerned. News Corp, they've been great supporters of greyhound racing for many, many years. I go back to when the ban or the proposed ban came in. Andrew Clennell, who was their chief political writer, he was an absolute ally to us. Benny English is now the editor of the Daily Telegraph. He's been to a number of functions at Wentworth Park for feature events when they were allowed. They've been a great partner for us. They streamed our coverage a couple of weeks. We've done a deal with them. They will promote greyhound racing to the rank and file. Their digital footprint through News Limited is huge. And this is what we want. We want new people to come into the game, and we're going to give someone the chance to win 50 large and think of the exposure we're going to get. I think it's a terrific idea. So you work from, I'm contracted to GRNSW. We tossed around a million ideas. Let's say every feature race we do, it's heats, semis, final, whatever. Let's think outside the square. Let's do something different. I think it's great. The Tabs announced they've teamed up with Jason Thompson. You've got all the other slot holders running different variations of earning, greyhound to earn a slot into the Phoenix. We are the ones that have gone out on a limb and done something different.
Yeah, exactly, Duke. And I've had a couple of people say, we've got the 5 dogs already selected. They're all informed. They've won group races in the last 5 or 6 weeks. They
earned their slot, Timmy. They earned their nomination.
Exactly right. But go through them. Bandit Ned, he's an absolute rocket. 29.5 at Wentworth Park.
The best in New South Wales, even Australia.
Yeah, blew them away in the Vic Peters. Wow, freak. Cashview, outstanding Lismore Cup victory, and he's probably racing, as good as any greyhound in New South Wales. And Zipping Curios and Light and Lily. Now, she won the Group 1 Peter Mossman. She's probably going to have to lift to another level if she actually earned the slot. But the other 5 greyhounds, off the top of my head, Duke, I'm just trying to think, you've probably got your Zulu Warlords who would be in the mix, and, Good Odds Cash and those type of greyhounds. So in the end, you're going to have 10 elite greyhounds, and anyone which I think earns the slot in the end is selected by the public voting system as going to be a very, very worthy New South Wales representative from mine.
3 of those dogs, Battler, I've got no doubt they are the best 3 dogs in New South Wales. If not, look, it's hard to say Australia, but definitely New South Wales. Zipping Curios, wow, and Bandit Ned. Bandit Ned's the X factor because he's a young dog, but he just continues to jump every single hurdle that Andy puts in front of him. Al won the 2020 TEM lead, dual Group 1 winner. Zipping Curios, out of this world at the moment. So that is the Phoenix concept. You can read all about it at Greyhound Racing New South Wales, thedogs.com.au, or through our great partner, News Corp, with the Daily Telegraph. So full details will be announced. We've got a story in the paper there today. You will see and read all about that in
a half page, Duke, in the paper today, just announcing what we are going to do. So wait till the actual campaign kicks off in a few weeks' time with, all of the 10 greyhounds selected and the voting, which will take place after. So yeah, I think it's a great promotion, and it'll put greyhound racing out there to the rank and file.
Let's wind the clock back to last Sunday afternoon. It was a big day at Goulburn, the feature event. The Group 3 Goulburn Cup final, and the favourite was Wow.
Racing in the Cup, clear last out was Sonny Goke, and Wow's exploded out of the boxes. Straight to the lead now over Derry Express is going to get the assist straight behind him. 2 lengths to Casual Glance, Mr. Tigger, Trouble at Mill. They'll followed by Ritz Donald, Cover Your Dreaming, and Sonny Goke. Wow, the leader to the corner. Derry Express is asking the question. Wow responds on the outside. Wow surges away now from Derry Express and Casual Glance, and Mrs. Wise, one of the best in the country. Wow, simply superb.
Danielle, congratulations. Goulburn Cup winner, you must be over the moon.
Yeah, he went awesome. Very happy for the time, and just the fact he jumped so well, and just 10.66 second sections flying. So,
how does it feel for you personally? Your mum's won this race a couple of times. It's your local feature, and you must be pretty happy.
Yeah, no, it's a nice one to win. It took us a very long time to win the first Goulburn Cup we won. We've also had a few seconds in it, so yeah, it's good.
Tell me what it means to train a dog like this.
He's an easy dog to train. It's more probably just the nerves get to you a bit and just the pressure. But he just puts in all the time, and he's a beautiful dog at home.
How's the week been for you, just in terms of that, the expectations, Goulburn Cup favourite, box 4, that sort of thing? How have you handled it?
I don't read anything or look at anything, so yeah, it's just another race. You just got to treat it as another race and do the same thing with him. You don't change his routine or do anything different.
Have you ever had a dog like him?
Oh, probably not. No, not me personally. No, he's very fast. He's just a beautiful dog too.
Any thoughts? What's next?
Well, hopefully the Top Gun, but we'll probably go into Melbourne Cup heats for sure. He doesn't have to go into prelude. He's exempted from winning the Temley, so.
Simply outstanding battler, less than a length off his track record there. Denny Elmatic over the moon. 44 starts now, 27 wins, 12 minors, a tick over $400,000 in earnings.
3 track records, Duke, 2 Group 1s, 2 Goulburn Cups, a Gosford Cup, runner-up, a gallant runner-up in the Golden Easter Egg this year. He's a freak of an animal. He began beautifully. It was Good Night Nurse. There was a bit of a pot around for him prior to the race, I'm led to believe, and betting suggested that. He was $1.80 out to around, I think, 1 point, 230, 240, might have even got to 250 around the traps, but which surprised me. I thought his right price was around the $1.80 mark, because I think you're betting on how he began, and he began like he did the week prior. When he gets out like that, Duke, there aren't too many greyhounds in the nation who could match him, particularly over the 440 metres. He's got that explosive early speed and he's strong over that journey, Duke. He is just a ripping greyhound, borderline champion. As far as I'm concerned, Ruth and Denny Elmatic have done a remarkable job with him. Had plenty of pressure when he entered their kennels, but they've done a tremendous job. And don't forget Karina Britton, who had him in the early days. She done all the donkey work, for want of a better term, I guess. But now it's just great to see him going so well. And he's going to be very hard to beat when he goes down to the Top Gun at the Meadows in a few weeks' time.
Yeah, he sure will. Now, the other feature event at Goulburn on Sunday afternoon was the Fireball. The favourite was More Sauce.
Racing now, More Sauce become out midfield. Father Rick got away quickly. Manila Beef's going to get a clear run. Sizzle Fly the outside. More Sauce is out the back. Father Rick holds the lead from Sizzle Fly. 3 lengths to Radiation. Manila Beef, Kapow. They're followed by Snipes and More Sauce, but in the straight, Father Rick has dropped the second dog, Sizzle Fly, and it's Father Rick's Fireball.
Congratulations on the Fireball win. You must be absolutely thrilled.
We're over the moon.
You certainly a talented dog. That record speaks for itself, but that was a pretty impressive win.
Yeah, no, he's a good little dog. He's very, very honest, as these record shows. I think that's 6 on the bounce, I think. Yeah, no, he goes all right.
Was this a race you guys looked at and targeted?
Yes, yeah. Before we step him up, this was the one, yeah.
Sharon, how do you feel? A successful owner?
Oh yes, I'm ecstatic. I'm very, very happy. He's a very good dog.
I guess it makes it better too, the fact that you guys bred the dog as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
We bred
absolutely.
his mother, grandmother.
Yes.
A whole lot.
We get a little bit emotional when we win a final.
I was going to say, does it ever get old winning finals?
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't get old.
It really doesn't.
It's been a fair while between drinks, though, let me tell you.
Yeah.
A good one like this.
Well, you have to make it a good drink there.
11 starts now for 7 wins and 3 seconds for Father Rick. Owned and trained by 2 of the loveliest people you'll ever meet in greyhound racing, in Ray and Sharon Webster. But Battler, he ran 1960. I just want to take you through his breeding, because we're going to look at the breeding of another young dog in a couple of minutes' time. Fernando Bale out of Lagoon Prissy. The grandmother is Lagoon Luana, who won the 2013 ladies race. So that breeding line goes all the way back to Bruce and Julie Fletcher's Thai Magic and Lawrence Desire. Ray and Sharon have had so much success with their line, and it's so great to see them back with another really good dog.
Yeah, I know the Lagoon dogs really well. I've followed them pretty much all of the time I've been in greyhound racing. I've always loved Ray and Sharon as trainers. And Lagoon Luana, she was good to me. 2013, I don't think it was that far back, but I had some nice wins on her over the time. But I'll tell you the best part about that was that interview, which was conducted by Mick Cowley after the race. Ray and Sharon did not take the smile off their face for the entire interview. It was outstanding. It was one of the most enjoyable interviews I've watched for so long. Sharon, a beaming, beautiful smile. Ray couldn't take the smile off his face too. As you mentioned, 6 on the trot now. He's won 7 out of 11. I've got no doubt they'll step to the 500 metres in time. But I'll tell you what, they're enjoying having a great run with him at the moment. One up the straight at Richmond. He's one on the big one-turn track, so he's versatile as well. But yeah, I love seeing that interview with Ray and Sharon. As you said, they are two of the loveliest people you will ever meet in this sport.
Yeah, and look, I remember they ran second behind Striker Light in the 2017 Golden Easter Egg.
Lagoon Jazzy.
And I interviewed Ray after the race, and he said, unbelievable. Said, just to run second. Only got beat ahead. Now, the difference was 250,000 or 50 odd for running second. But for Ray, it was just an enormous moment to run second in a race like that. So well done to them. I'm so happy for them. As I said, they're lovely, lovely people, and they deserve all the success that they get. Now, Battler, on Tuesday night, I headed just up the road. It was nearly a local game for me. Ladbrokes Park, Lismore, the Group 2 Lismore Cup. The favourite pre-post was Lewis Rumble from box 3. Cash View for Bobby Cook would start from box number 1.
Racing Cash View was out a lot better tonight. Lewis Rumble matches Motors with him. These two youngsters go hammer and tong to the corner. Lewis Rumble takes over. Around them was Fire Legend into second. Next was Cash View. Behind those runners was Pelser. Drifting back was Mercy Dash Sleuth. And at the tail was Pike. Lewis Rumble's low under catch. He's 3 clear on Fire Legend. Here comes Cash View starting to storm home. Next was Pelser as they straighten. Lewis Rumble. Cash View's ploughing home. Lewis Rumble in front. Diving Cash View. I reckon he might have got there. It's tight.
Tell us how you're feeling, mate.
Pretty good, Dick.
Take that off. That was a hard ride, wasn't it, Cookie?
Yeah, freaking late it was.
What are you thinking through that first turn? He was just off the pace.
He must have just got a little check there because I thought he was close enough there and went into the back. He was a bit further off.
And a pensive wait for that photo finish, Cookie.
It was good.
Hey, Tammy, all those late nights and early mornings?
Totally worth it. Totally worth it. And it doesn't hurt to spoil them, not one bit.
No, it was a normal stick. What happened to him at the first turn, and he lost quite a few lengths there.
He began a lot better tonight.
Yeah, he shocked me actually.
Hit the rail in that run to the first turn, copped a little bit of pressure, and down the back straight, Cookie, he's 5 behind Lewis Rumble. What was going through your head at that point in time?
Yeah, toss up, is he close enough? Is he close enough? That was sort of more to it.
I guess the one thing with this dog is he certainly knows where the winning post is, mate.
Yeah, no, that's it. He's very strong.
Look, his heat win was terrific, but to win that final, giving Lewis Rumble 5 down the back, hit the rail at that first turn. We heard in the interview with Cookie that I did with him directly after the race. Just an enormous runner. And look, Cookie's really turned him around. He brought him down to Grafton. It's quite a lure at Grafton. Holds the track record there over the 450 metres. It was funny because I spoke to Mark Moroney after the race, and he said, mate, he said, down the bow, through the catching pen, he said, I was rubbing my hands. He said, and then I realised Lewis Rumble's in front of me and Cash View's behind me.
He's a couple behind.
You know, but again, another homebred Raw Ability. It's Raw Ability's first group win as a sire. Cash Pot is Cookie's breed. There's a couple of others in the litter. Cash Stack, who's now racing in New Zealand, he ran third in the Dave Brett Memorial, and Cash Bandit for Nev and Nicholas Hand. He's won 3 of his last 4. He's won his last 2 at Grafton. Nick's actually an aspiring young race caller and does a really good job. But again, when you look at that run on Tuesday night, Battler, it was just, I just, down the back, I thought he can't beat him.
Yeah. Well, Duke, and I didn't have an interest as far as betting in the race. After box rise, the way he got out, he was unbeatable. First turn, he's going to park a length behind Lewis Rumble, but then, as you said, he hit the running rail. Then he checked off Fire Legend, who came across and cut him off. And next minute, he's gone from probably a length off Lewis Rumble and unbeatable in the run to 5 or 6 behind, work into the back straight. Now, you know Lewis Rumble's going to run 29.6. So near mathematically impossible to run him down when you're giving him 6, unless you've got that freakish type of a finish, which Cashview has got. I still thought Lewis Rumble would win in the run. On the home turn, I still thought he'd just sling it and just get in, slide in. But that last 20 or 30 metres, He was launching Cashview, and he's got up in the final strides. It was a phenomenal win, Duke. Lewis Rumble, he was gallant. He's a high-speed grey, and I guess he's probably got to be in contention along with Fire Legend, Duke, when we're talking the Phoenix and those other 5 greyhounds which will need to be selected. Those probably greyhounds are going to be somewhere in the mix as well as the ones we mentioned earlier on. So yeah, it was a tremendous Lismore Cup. Good to see a good little crowd there, and yes, I said enjoyed all of the coverage too. I'll give you a wrap there, Duke. You did well.
Thanks,
not too bad.
Yeah, thanks. Again, talk about lovely people. I've known Cookie for a long while, and we had a lot of success with a bitch I race called Zipping Olympia before she went cray-cray in the latter part of her career. Tammy, who we referred to as Tammy Cook, it's actually Tammy Simpson, which is Peter Simpson's sister. Tammy's mother was a legend up here as far as training dogs was concerned. Everyone you speak to, if you talk about Lila, she was an absolute genius with a dog. And I can tell you, Battler, Tammy's the one that does all the work around the kennels. I spoke to him this morning, Thursday morning. They heard about the Phoenix, that he'd been given a slot. And you only had to see that emotion when I got Cookie after the race when he found out he won. And then I got Tammy down when she's bringing the dog back. And again, such lovely people, mate. It is so good to see them win races like that, you know.
Yeah, and I love what I think she said, that makes the long nights or the late nights and the early mornings worthwhile when you win those feature races. We spoke about Sharon and Ray. They were elated earlier, but you could tell Tammy and Cookie, they were absolutely thrilled to take out that race on Tuesday night. And that's what it's all about, Duke. It's what it's about. And I get a thrill when you're looking, you know, some people, you know, it's not Group 1 races mean a lot more to, I think, different people, how you sort of, you know, I'm not Group 1 races, group races. You know, some people, you know, they knock up winning group races, you know, over the years. But, you know, you could just tell that meant so much to them being a local cup as well, Duke. So, yeah, it was fantastic to see.
The big racing continued. Let's backtrack one night to Monday just gone. The Future Stars final, as I said last week, I rate this in the same category as the Grafton Maiden Classic. And this was Frankie Hurst Tithes at Bind.
Racing in the final, Kitty Keane came out beautifully, tried to get across. Good Odd Zach. Out from the top was Ties That Bind. Back in behind them, Blue Zephyr. Then came Jetter, Breakback, Ibrox, Wildfire. Wanted to get up the track. Buzz Junkie and Dukas Diesel on the side. Kitty Keane leads the way. Ties That Bind all over the back of it. Kitty Keane in front. Ties That Bind's going to launch late. Got the final.
Terrific win there, Battler. Sat just off the early speed. Now, we talk about breeding. And, of course, Frankie won the 2018 running of the Future Stars with Good Odds Errata. Ties That Bind by the great Fernando Bale out of Good Odds Megan. Good Odds Megan's grandmother was Solar Pack. Her great-grandmother was Tiffy. Megan was a litter sister to Feral Frankie and Good Odds Errata. Talk about being bred in the purple, mate.
Oh, handily bred, eh? And the other greyhound in the race for Frank, Good Odds, Zach, he had no luck. He was actually race favourite. He got checked by the kennel mate down the side. So fortunately for Frankie Ties, the bomb was just a little too strong. But yeah, impeccably bred. They're going to have a heck of a lot of fun with this litter. Duke. As you said, Good Odds Errata won it in 2018. Zipping Kyrios won the race, Future Stars last year. So the who's who of greyhound racing have won the Future Stars over the years. It's always been a great race. It's a fantastic track for young greyhounds to start off their career, Maitland. And yeah, I'm sure a number of those greyhounds. The runner-up, Kitty Keane, was terrific. Only run down in the latter stages. It'll knock up winning races over the 450 around the tracks. Whether it gets out to 500 down the track's another matter. Blue Zephyr was a greyhound I highlighted here last week on the show. I think he's a real talent. I think he can go through his grades as well. So yeah, it'll be a strong form race without a shadow of a doubt. The Future Stars this year, Duke.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about the Top Gun. The Meadows have announced the fields for the Top Gun. New South Wales heavily represented. It's a real state of origin field as far as the sprint series is concerned. We have Bandit Ned, Jungle Juice, Wow, and Zipping Kyrios. Now, as far as the Top Gun stayers are concerned, we have got Miss Esme, Stanley Road, and Super Estrella. Zipping Niseko is a reserved for that. Those races will be held on Saturday week, the 6th of November. Obviously, box draws are going to be oh so critical, Battler. But again, it's good to see them, again, rewarding a dog like Bandit Net, rewarding dogs like Wow, Zipping Kyrgios, Jungle Juice. He went there last Saturday night, ran best tonight. He's back in form, but we're going to take a stack of beating. I say we collectively, New South Wales, of course.
Yeah, Duke, as you just mentioned, and they're all in form. They're all flying. Jungle Juice coming back from a freshen up. He was outstanding, winning there on Saturday night. He didn't begin all that well, but geez, didn't he whistle through that first section in the drive to the first turn? Then he just cut and run, and off he went. It's great to see him back. Wow, we've spoken about him, Zipping Kyrgios. We know what he's capable of. He did trial 29.86 on Saturday night around the Meadows. Handy run first look at the track, Duke. And Bandit Net, absolute rocket. There's no doubt Andy will, I'm sure, go down and trial him before the race. Yeah, box draws are going to play a big part, as they do in all of these Group 1 sprint races. But yeah, it's an intriguing race. Really looking forward to it. And I know you've been on the Top Gun panel in the past. Can you recall when the last time we would have had half the field, New South Wales, in the race? I probably go back 20 years, watching the Top Gun closely. I can't recall New South Wales having 50% of the field in probably 20 years.
And let me tell you about it, it was always a struggle to get New South Wales dogs, unless they're absolute standouts, because the Victorians are extremely parochial. I remember when I battled to get Mint Magic in for Ray Watson. Came out, won by 15.
God bless her. I love Mint Magic.
I remember she was probably the last dog selected, and I'd been on the Top Gun panel, for years, but it was always a struggle. But the thing is, these dogs do pick themselves. Look, I don't follow Victorian racing or interstate racing as closely as I used to. All our focus is obviously on New South Wales, but I want to ask you about the run of Miss Esme. She went around the 3-dog field over the 700 there last Saturday, beaten a long, long way by Zach Sanity. I tried to get hold of Jack, but I had no luck. What did you make of that?
Oh, she was disappointing. There's no doubt in the world. Is it a case she might have been a little bit flat? She'd had, a campaign, Sydney Cup tough campaign. She went into that series and she was outstanding in the final. A week later, down to Melbourne, travel. Look, I think you can make excuses. She's better than that. We know that. She ran 41.7, winning a Sydney Cup, and she beat arguably the best stayers in the nation on that particular night. She was disappointing, no doubt in the world. She'll bounce back. She's too good, Duke. She's a ripper. Stanley Road, he's ticking along nicely, and Super Estrella. Oh, geez, she just keeps on going to that next level. She was tremendous at Winnie Park on Saturday night, upstaging Stanley Road. So again, Duke, we've got 3 runners in the stayers, and I'll tell you what, we are going to go very quick. Could even run the try. Who knows?
And of course, Stanley Road won the Fanabale Super Stayers there. He's got the runs on the board at the Meadows as well. Miss Esme, obviously the one on the up, along with Super Estrella, and Zach Sanity was impressive last week when winning that 3-dog race. But you're right, Battler, we're in it up to our ears as well. So that Top Gun is run on the 6th of November, and the box draw, I think, comes out next week. Now, of course, Battler, one of our most popular segments here on Behind the Boxes each and every week is what's hot and what is not. What's hot for you this week?
Frank and Tracy Hurst. Gee, they are having one hell of a run at the moment. We've just mentioned they won the Future Stars with tyres that bind on Monday night. They then backed it up on Tuesday night, and they won a heat of the GBOTA Phoenix Series at Bulli with Sound of Silence. Frank has gone to the races 13 times. Of his last 13 times to the races, 13 starters, 9 winners, Duke, 69%. And you can actually sort of go back to the beginning of, October, across Tracy and Frank, across, but in both of their names have had 10, 18 starters, 10 winners, go back even further to early August, 32 starters, 17 winners. So basically from about August they've been 55% and above. Now 69% in the last, couple of weeks. So Tracy and Frankhurst having a red hot run at the moment. If you see their name in the race book, you can certainly have a bet knowing the greyhounds are flying at the moment. And again, we've said it a few times on this show, but two lovely people too.
Yeah, and again, Battler, you're right there. It's about people with skin in the game, I guess. And Frank and Tracy, they've been there, they've done that, they've had good for a number of years, and they just continue to produce the goods. So again, it's no surprise, but it's always great to see it happen because sometimes the rub of the green just goes against you. So well done to them. I'll tell you what's off for me, Battler. No surprise, but it's just the quality of racing at the moment and thrilling races that we're getting. If we go back to that Group 1 night, the Sydney Cup, outstanding race. Banded Meg comes out, goes bang. Light and Lily caused some major upset. Wow wins the Goulburn Cup. Cashview wins the Lismore Cup. I'm just excited that we're getting back to some sort of normality, mate. There was a little crowd there at Lismore on Tuesday. Obviously, people have to be double vaccinated to get in, but just sense there's this upsurge now in enthusiasm, people being able to get out, live normal lives, being able to do things that they were able to do now nearly 2 years ago. And that's the thing that's probably most exciting for me at the moment.
Yeah, I concur, it is. And you can just tell even in Sydney, people are getting out and about, and there's a bit of a buzz compared to, we're all locked down a few weeks ago and, just try to get over the line and get out. Of course, it'll all open up December 1, when everyone can basically go back on track. So, and yeah, the racing at the moment, it's just red hot, and right across the board. We've just spoken about how many good dogs we've got in New South Wales. That good, we've got half the Top Gun field, and we can't remember the last time that has happened. So I think if you're a New South Welshman right now, you should be happy with how we're travelling. Our dogs are performing well on the big stages, all of our good to see, New South Wales owners and trainers earning some of the big money on offer.
All right, let's try and find a winner for our listeners and our viewers. What have you found for us this week, Battler?
I heading to Maitland on Monday evening, found a greyhound by the name of Irrational. Now, he's beautifully bred by Barsha Bale at Big Butters. And she was a tremendous bitch. She was versatile over the 500, 600 and 700 metres. She made a $1 million chase final there at one stage too at Whitworth Park. So, look, he's well bred, but gee, I was impressed with what he did. He was only fairly away, and then he just punched up on the rails, and he just knuckled down in the latter part, and he was strong to the line, running 25.19 over the 450 metres at Maitland. Now, he'll be better when he does get back over further ground. He did win at Richmond a few weeks ago, Duke, running 30 and 55, run home time of 15.05. So that's a powerful run home time. So there's no doubt when he gets back up to the 500 metres, and no doubt 600 and who knows 700 metres down the track. But I think he's a greyhound with above average ability, and I think you should be following him through as he races through the grades.
Yeah, my greyhound to follow, Battler, is a greyhound by the name of She's a Pearl, which is trained by Pete Sims. And She's a Pearl won at Wentworth Park on Wednesday evening, going 29.92. She's now won the last two there. She ran 30 and 17, 2 starts back. She's by Aston DB out of She's Impetuous. Pete didn't have a lot of luck with She's Salacious, who made the final. She was the favourite for the Group 1 Peter Mossman Opal. She suffered a terrible injury at Wentworth Park. Actually, she's broken a leg. She was being operated on. I think I spoke to Pete on Monday night. She was being operated on maybe Tuesday. So sad news for the connections there with She's Salacious. But She's a Pearl. She's another greyhound battler. She's got great early speed, which I love. She just keeps going to that next little level up and down, mate. She's a greyhound that is definitely on the rise.
Yeah, I totally agree, Duke. Just keeps on going to that next level when she needs to. She's a reliable beginner. You've got that early speed. Now, whenever you contest any feature races anywhere, if you can run that overall time over the 500 metres of the quick times, you're going to be very hard to beat, and you're going to be always a genuine chance in the feature races with those racing traits, Duke. That high speed will put her into the picture more often than not. So no, I agree. She's one on the rise, and she was very good when she won that night on the Sydney Cup night, Vic Peters night, when she took out the last race from box 5 too. So no, she's quite talented.
Yeah. So again, she's a pearl is mine to follow. Commiserations in regards to She's Salacious. Now, Battler, it's not the rumour file this week. It's going to be the questions that we can pose, right? So I've got to say, I've been approached by two very prominent people, two very prominent trainers in the last couple of weeks. And the background to this is that in thoroughbreds, horses race with a whole host of different gear. So it can be a tongue tie, can be blinkers, can be winkers, can be a nose roll, can be earmuffs, can be earplugs. Harness racing again, they've got earplugs. So one of the very prominent trainers posed the question to me, why do we not allow greyhounds to race with earplugs? And the basis of it was he's got a very, very smart young chaser who plays up terribly in the boxes, right? So they went to a trial track, registered trial track, they trialled the dog with earplugs in, dog came out under the lids. Took him back the next week, earplugs in, out underneath the lids. Took him to a race the next week. Lewis starts, hears the noise, goes Burko in the boxes, falls out, fall behind them. So obviously it would need to be in the same criteria as far as a greyhound wearing blinkers, needs to be approved by stewards, needs to have a steward's trial to permit them to race in them, and likewise to have them removed from them. I think it's got a lot of merit. I'd be interested to hear what you think and also what other trainers think as well.
Yeah, interesting thought, Duke. First time I've really ever come across it, but look, I wouldn't have any drama at all with it, providing, you know, you've got a trial in earplugs in front of stewards, and then it is then noted in the race book if they're in or they're coming out. So putters know if there's some sort of a gear change, like they do in the thoroughbreds, you know, as you just alluded to, winkers, blinkers, you know, earmuffs, you know, they're all, you pick up a steward's report at the horses for that day, and there's a stack of gear changes. So I can't see any reason why it probably couldn't be looked at and implemented. Just got to have the right protocols in place that everyone knows what's going on as far as putters. They've got to be made aware. They are the lively, you know, behind the industry. You know, without the putters, we haven't got, you know, the wagering turnover, hence prize money at the levels we've got at the moment. So yeah, it's I think there is plenty of merit in that. It's as I just said, it was the first time I've ever sort of had it mentioned, but yeah, I think it's something worth pursuing anyway. It's all about consistency as far as, you know, greyhounds are concerned, and if you can get dogs beginning much better than what they generally do, if that's part of the reason why they're going crazy in the boxes, and earplugs can make a difference, well, I think it's definitely worthwhile looking at.
Yeah, I think it's got a stack of merit. Again, as I say, you just need to put the criteria in place on that. But as everyone knows, we all know if we've had dogs and that, you know, it's that 9, 10, 11, 12 seconds when the lure takes off. Quite often you'll see the dogs pre that and they're just nice and placid, right? And then as soon as the lure starts, they hear it. They're obviously getting more excited. They, you know, some of them pause, some of them jump up and down. But as I say, a very, very prominent trainer brought this up with me. And again, I think it's got great merit. We're actually going to pass it on to GWIC, to Steve Griffin and his team there to get their feedback on it. But I can tell you, I reckon a lot of people will be sitting back now going and nodding their head saying, yeah, it's certainly something that should be looked at. So not the rumour file, but the questions that we pose here on. We just bring up different stuff every week, aren't we?
Oh, we are. We're just moving forward with this show. What are we going to talk about next week? It'll be interesting.
Episode 12. Wow, 3 months.
Really? 12?
Yeah. Only because I've got the rundown in front of me. It says episode 12. Listen, the funeral for Paul Wheeler will be held on Monday, November 1st, down at Young. I'm sure it will be a massive gathering. I think they're streaming to the harness racing track as well. So our thoughts are with Jan Brendan and the entire Wheeler family on what will be a very sad occasion. The Pop Northfield Maiden, it's being run and won today at Casino. We're recording this Thursday morning, so this afternoon the Pop Northfield Maiden will be on. This Sunday, Battler, we've got heats of the Albert Gleeson Jacaranda Maiden in memory of my great mate Albert. Haven't seen the fields just yet. Hopefully we've got a good roller, but it's an $8,000 to the winner race. And on Sunday week, we're going to have a drink for Albert, because some of the money that we raise, we apportion some of it to celebrate Albert's life. So there's money going on the bar at Grafton on Sunday week. But as I said last week, I'm going to be scouring these fields, because I've been told a couple of dogs are fast. I promise. I'll let you know.
Yeah, don't forget, don't lose my phone number on Sunday morning. As I mentioned the other week, Derby Day on Saturday, like best day of racing, in the thoroughbreds as far as I'm concerned of the year. Big fields, looking at a big tank, and we can just roll it over into Grafton on Sunday night. You've just got to get all those trials, Duke, and see what we can do, eh?
I promise I will tell you. I tell everyone else as well, but no.
Yeah, I'll get told, tipping this, and it's already been 5:50 to 2:20 in the morning.
Never give up early, Battler. Always let the owners and trainers get on first, and then you can step in. So the heats this Sunday, final on Sunday week, and Maxine, Albert's mum, she'll be there along with George, a partner. Pete Gleason, his brother, is based in Queensland. He's hoping to be able to get down with an exemption from media. So hopefully he will be down there, and it'll be just great to again celebrate life for a guy who's absolute rough.
I'd never met him, Duke, but everyone you spoke to, larger than life character, lovely man. So as I said, I never had the pleasure of meeting, but I've spoken to a number of people who had, and nothing but kind words to say.
He'd just be filthy next week when we're having a drink that he's not here.
Can't blame him for that. The old FOMO.
It's been a huge week. We're leading into that part of the year where we've got, such big races coming up. It's so exciting. Let's say we're getting back to some part of the normality, Battler.
Yeah, we are, Duke, and I think it's a good time of year too. It's warming up everywhere, so I think everyone's got a bit of a spring in our step at the moment. Well, I certainly have anyway, after lockdown for 3 or 4 months, whatever it's been. So yeah, it is, and the racing's just beginning to hot up, and we've got an exciting, the build up to the Phoenix will be fantastic. We've got other, feature races here in New South Wales trickling away. We've got the Group 1 Dapto Megastar, which is coming up in early December too. So I'm sure, we'll get all of the big guns heading toward that race too. So yeah, exciting times ahead, Duke.
All right, mate. I'll catch you next week here on Behind the Boxes, Battler.
Looking forward to it, Duke. We'll do it all again, eh?
All right, and hopefully you can join us as well. Until next week, good luck, good punting. I'm Mark Duclos. Bye for now.